Hello. I would thought that I would just make a quick video about our attendance policy and why it is the way it is. I wanted to do this to give you a chance to consider that policy and to take a minute to consider your life prior to entering our course. So when we run groups, we work more than with an individual. We work with a whole bunch of individuals. And there is both an individual process that occurs in groups as well as a collective process. For that collective process to continue to be effective, for your group to build cohesion, and for you to be able to be in relationship not just with the individuals but with the group entirely, your presence on a regular, predictable basis is really imperative. So my attendance policy for the first 8 weeks of class is that it's a zero miss policy. When we're doing groups and when we're preparing to do groups, you simply must be physically present. It's just that important. I once had a graduate student who wanted to run a group with me at the Joseph Residence for women who were healing from battering relationships. And I asked her to carefully consider her schedule. She was a second-year master's student. She had to prepare a portfolio. She was finishing her courses. She did a practicum, and she also was married, and she needed time with her husband. And in fact, she and her husband had planned a trip away in March. That would have been actually in the middle of group. And so I asked her to carefully consider her ability to be present for that group. Not because I didn't want to work with her, I did, and I thought she'd be a great co-facilitator, but because once we began that group, we both had to be there every single time in order to keep our group process moving and in order to really maintain the health of that group. So I asked her to consider that, and she ultimately wound up changing her vacation plan so that she could be present for all 10 weeks that we ran that group. So I'm going to ask you to consider your life right now. If you have a lot of things going on, this may not be a great time for you to be in the field, and I'm going to ask you in a very mature way to make a decision about, can you commit to 8 weeks of being in the field and being in groups and participating? If you can, yippee yahoo! If you can't, I'm going to ask you to seriously consider whether this is the right time for this course in your life. The other thing I want you to think about is we are a professional program, and we are training you to be a professional, ethical, responsible, effective practitioner. One of the things that I am looking for in our class is your commitment to the field and your ability to be present, since in social work we are the tool that we begin with. So this is your last class before you begin practicum, and I'll be looking at your level of professionalism, and part of that professionalism is attendance and your ability to commit and follow through. So think carefully about that policy. It's not meant to be rigid. It is reflective of a professional ethic in our field, and I just want to make sure that you have a minute to consider it before we launch into our exciting adventure working with the children at Rattlesnake School. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.